By going after that first job with an idea in your mind, just the reverse of what you have been trying to hold there. Think not about what you are going to get, but about what you can give. Ask for opportunity to give, and give with all your heart all you have got, knowing that you cannot fail to get what your desire calls for. You cannot fail to get back what you give out. For who are you? You are the expression of God in your individuality. Think of that. In Him you live and move and have your being. You are one with God, the supreme power in the universe. You are one with supreme universal mind. And universal mind creates what it wants to create. In other words, it gives out what it wants to see manifested. Think of it. Think. You? Not somebody else, you. You cannot fail. Chapter 3. Obedience to law. What is obedience to law in everyday practice? Let us study it in its opposite. Let us consider one of the commonest of everyday failures to obey law. When somebody who does not know as much about it as you do say you are wrong, when somebody knocks you behind your back, when somebody slyly undermines your standing with the boss, when somebody takes advantage of your kindness, cheats you, robs you, strikes you, why, it is easy to get mad. And yet even a prize fighter knows enough not to get mad. He knows that it is the worst method in the world by which to accomplish the purpose he has in view. It is the worst method to use to accomplish any purpose whatever. Let us see what it usually accomplishes. I know a man who gets mad when somebody tries to steal the right of way from him when he is driving his car. The other night a man rushed past him, cut in short ahead of him, and crowded him out of his rightful place in the traffic. My friend got mad. When the traffic opened so that he could, he speeded up, caught up with the other fellow, rushed past him, and cut in short ahead of him in retaliation, in a how-do-you-like-it-yourself spirit. What happened? He turned a little too short, caught the other fellow's front fender, and crumpled his own nice new rear fender most annoyingly and expensively. And then he noticed that the other car was a ragged old flivver that could not be damaged much by anything that could be done to it. And he discovered that he had just put a bad mark on his own car as a reward for yielding to temper, for pampering his tendency to temper. Also, he knew that he had narrowly escaped worse, for that sort of thing is playing with disaster, as we can always see plainly enough afterwards. When a man gets mad, he befogs his judgment. Virtually always he does something foolish. Sometimes he does things that seem insane. Sometimes he does irretrievable things, tragic, fatal things. What he does always ranges somewhere between silliness and crime. The young man or girl who talks back to an employer, the teacher or parent or man or woman who gives rein to white-hot passion and says scathing, lacerating, cruel things, or deals blows with a fist or a weapon, simply surrenders to an emotion and lets it run his life, usually to the point of shame, sometimes to the point of disgrace, and sometimes, once too often, to murder. That's the way murders are done, letting passion rule instead of intelligence. But the worst of it all does not lie in the deed you do when you get mad. It lies in yielding the management of your life to emotion or passion instead of intelligence. I once heard a fine lecture by Norman Angell, a man who thinks so clearly that it has made him famous, in which he said something like this: most of the troubles in the world are caused by the fact that men act under the sway of passion rather than of intelligence. Every sort of disagreement, from private quarrel to worldwide war, comes from this tragic vice of men.